make the offense one-dimensional.
Coach, 32. We got fire, man. I know it. Here we go. 32.
Apparently they have a fire, Kenny.
Sounds like it. So was the game CBS yesterday, or was it Fox?
Fox. It was Fox, yeah.
Fox. Jonathan Vilma and Kenny Albert.
It was hilarious. Like, that was broadcast. I was sitting with people. We started to laugh out loud.
I saw the clip going around. That's Coleman Shelton turning around to Caleb. We've got effing fire.
Yeah.
32. We got fire, man. I know it.
So that's alerting him that the blitz is coming?
Something, hey, catch, and then you hear Caleb go, I know it, or I got it, or whatever.
32. We got fire, man. I know it.
I know.
That's from the parabolic mic. So those you hear Joniak reference Little Z all the time. We have one for the radio broadcast, and he's done that for years, and we get good audio too. But if it's pointed in the right direction, they pick that up from the sidelines.
Yeah.
That's not like because a player's mic'd up.
Yeah, that was great.
You're getting that from the parabolic mic. It's incredible.
I'm glad that Kenny, it was Kenny Albert. Is that who it was? And
Jonathan Vilma.
And Jonathan, they had fun with it.
Yeah, that they like. Well, I hate it when something like that happens.
We're sorry to the viewers. There.
Right. That's even worse.
Right.
We apologize for picking up language that football players use all the time. But I'm glad that they just referenced it in general and didn't ignore it.
Yeah.
Like, that's good, too.
Great. It was fun.
Make the offense one-dimensional.
Coach, 32. We got fire, man. I know it. Here we go. 32.
Apparently they have a fire, Kenny.
Sounds like it.
Fire. I have to tell you, too, like, I don't think I've ever seen a rookie quarterback giving more full authority at the line of scrimmage than I've seen Caleb exercise so far. When was the last time you do see some, like I'm sure Bo Nix has pointed some stuff out. I'm sure Jaden Daniels as well, but it almost feels like he has been given full authority to do whatever is necessary at the line of scrimmage. And I think that that's encouraging. I think that will bring on growth sooner rather than later, and already shows you that they trust him to do quite a bit.
Like, it could make him deal with more growing pains in the short term, but more growth in the long term.
And I would bet that some of the struggles early in the season can be directly tied to what he's been asked to do. And I'm sure there were people that say, hey, simplify some of the stuff that you're doing. But at the same time, when you've got a young man who understands the game the way he does and has a big football IQ, you also want to give him some authority to do what he sees fit, because he's the one in the fire out there. He's the one that is orchestrating things in the fire.
And an effing fire.
Absolutely.
32. We got fire, man. I know it.
We'll do the sounds from the booth in a little bit, too, from our booth on ESPN 1000. And then we have good plans, too, to check in with Joniak and Thayer throughout the week. Not just with their usual hip, but we got to get like the Joniak Journal in effect daily. And Thayer supposedly said to Zetterman, I don't know if this is true or not, that he's not going to leave the hotel while he's in London. And they get there tomorrow.
Tom's all business.
All business. They get there they get there tomorrow morning. They're leaving tonight.
Well, you can have that out with Thayer when he joins us.
I don't want to fight with anybody, but come on, you got to get out. I think he's all talk, and then eventually he'll get out and have some fun. Now, I know he's there for a football game, but I think the team's going to have fun. They got a day off tomorrow. I'll play polls in a little bit discussing, and he was very good about what went into their decision in the pregame show.
We didn't have any problem with the coach this week either. That's good.
It was great.
There were no mistakes to point out, even in victory.
Nothing. I thought they handled everything great this time. So I have a DJ Moore. This has been a big trending topic on social media. Take it for what it's worth on social media. We've had people call in, though, to the show and ask us, and remember, someone, too, and in a nice way they did it. They said, guys, are you stifling a DJ Moore conversation? When are we going to really have a real conversation about DJ Moore and maybe his change of attitude? Does this have anything to do with Justin Fields and his love for Justin Fields? What's with the bad body language? And there were clips going around on the internet from some showing how he was sitting on the bench alone. So I had a mission, and I was hoping for this yesterday. Then I wanted to see how DJ Moore acts after success, after a touchdown. So he scores his first touchdown, and I wanted to see, like, would it be a bunch of slap and tickle going on? You used that term earlier in the day, and I can't get it out of my house, my mind, my
mind
head.
is your house.
My yeah.
The floor is the ceiling.
Yeah, the ceiling is the roof.
Oh.
Carmen and I used to have a segment called Slap and Tickle. It's how we ended every show every day. We would bring you the fun stories of the day, the Slap and Tickle session. Bruce used it in a story once before. So we looked at Keenan Allen first, and Keenan Allen was like high-fiving the offensive line, saying, great job, guys.
By the way, Keenan Allen is a more kind of
vocal guy.
Yeah, vocal guy just in general.
There are some guys who lead this way. Look at this guy waddling out there in tribute to you. There's a fan outside our booth right now who did like the Jalen waddle, but in reference to you, giving you a little shout out. Because you're as productive as Jalen Waddle these days.
I had to do that when we did a Motorola commercial 30 years ago. And I just had my knee operated on, and they wanted me to waddle like that. So I actually did something just like that guy did.
So you were waddling before Jalen Waddle.
Well before he was born.
Yeah. So anyway, then I looked at DJ Moore, and I said to Dan, I go, where's DJ? Because we're at the booth. We're a little higher. And he pointed him out. He goes, there he is right there, sitting alone. And I go, oh, this is perfect. So I took the picture of the play going on, and I circled where DJ Moore was sitting. All of the receivers were together on the left. There they were, even the guys who weren't playing, like, what's his name from Cincinnati? Tyler Scott and the other wide receivers together. DJ was there. Like, I don't know if he had a towel over his head. I got to go back to the picture that I took, but he was alone. The man likes to sit alone. And I said, and I tweeted out the picture of it. I go, guys, let's stop with the bad body language stuff. This is who DJ is. This is after his first touchdown, a great play. And he goes back to the bench and he sits down, and some guys just like to sit by themselves. That's how some guys are. Some guys like to sit. Like, we went through it. It used to drive me crazy with Jay Cutler. We fought the body language battle all the time. So when this is coming back 10 years later, or even longer than that, it drives me crazy. Like, you would have thought, especially for DJ, no offense to Jay, DJ Moore is better at his job than Jay was at his job. Mm-hmm. And DJ Moore works his ass off. He's loved by his teammates, and he produces. So I don't know why. And I give all players the right to be frustrated. Why shouldn't anybody be frustrated when things aren't working? It means that they care. If you were watching late last night to the Sunday night game, Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb have worked together for years now, 3 or 4 years. They're still not on the same page on the goal line. And they're still arguing outwardly. These guys have been together for 5 games. And in this game, when they were shown, it was 3 or 4 games. So I just wanted to show within context, that was in a bad moment. This is in a good moment. The dude's sitting in the same way after a touchdown, talking to no one, minding his business. This is just the way DJ Moore is. And if you don't like him, don't like it. But I want DJ Moore on my team, and I'm fine with him reacting the way he wants to react because he's a damn good player and a great worker.
Yeah, and they finally got him the ball downfield. 5 catches, 105 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That'll make everybody happy.
Yeah. So just like a lot of times, people take these snapshots in bad moments and they make it represent something that fits their narrative. But again, here's how he is in good moments too. This is who he is. This is the way he does his thing. He sits alone. Like, there were a lot of great lines. The dude has little kids at home. He gets peace whenever he wants to get peace. You know, the man wants his peace. I could live with that. There were some fantastic lines with that. Let's get to more of your phone calls at 312-332-3776. DJ in Kansas City, who called yesterday during halftime as well. I love to hear it. What's up, DJ?
Gentlemen, what a Monday, baby! What a Monday!
DJ, it sounds like your body language is good today.
Oh, it's fantastic. I am excited about not having to wait till 12 o'clock on Sunday to see them. I'm excited about the growth that we've seen at all phases. And, very, very thankful that we have an opportunity to see Caleb grow and Waldron as well. So a shout out to Shane Waldron. I think he's shown improvement. We're really quick to rag on coaching and some decisions, but I got to say, I'm feeling pretty good about everything.
DJ, thanks. I gave him credit yesterday too. Even like we were debating in the booth, even in the moment where they didn't pick up a fourth down. I'm trying to remember where this was. Was it towards the goal line? It's all blur. It was third and one or two. It was maybe more towards midfield. It was like 3rd and 1 and then 4th and 1. And both times they went with Roshan up the middle. And
which is what everyone's asked for.
Yes. And I was taking a survey in the booth.
It was at the Carolina 40-yard line. First, it was 3rd and 2. Roshan Johnson left guard to the Carolina 39 for 1 yard. And then 4th and 1, it was once again Roshan right tackle for no gain.
Yeah, and I was debating with Danny. Danny said, hated it. And I said, because I turned to a guy who I've known for a long time in the booth who works for the Bears. And I said, because I didn't mind it at all, because exactly what you said. All we've asked for is,
does it make sense?
Give it right. Make it make sense. You needed to convert short yardage. You had your running back who runs downhill. The run game had been working. They've been converting. Sometimes players have to execute, like you've shouted a lot. And in that time, it's not always the play call, it's the play execution. And those guys didn't block, and
right.
they didn't break a tackle, and they didn't convert. It's not always the play call.
Right. Look, that's what everyone has been clamoring for, and I'm not suggesting it's been that people are wrong for clamoring for more of a power running game with Roshan Johnson getting the football. Sometimes a good play doesn't work because the other team makes a good play, and sometimes a bad play call actually works because your guys out execute the guy over their nose. So there's a lot that goes into being successful. There is the play call, there's execution, and sometimes even a good play call isn't going to work. So that's just the emotion of football.
Like if they don't get it because they're overly cute again.
What would people like? Like, did Danny want them to run the speed option?
His thing was, well, why wasn't Doug Kramer in there? He didn't like it. There was no center in the backfield again for the fullback. I'm like, look, they ran forward. They gave it to the guy who runs downhill. They didn't block well for it. And what would have pissed me off is a jet sweep, or if they would have pitched it backwards, or if they would have tried to be more cute. I was fine with it.
And there's an outcome bias that exists that we all acknowledge as well, because there are really good teams with really good offensive coordinators that do run the jet sweep on 4th and 1. And because they have good players and their players execute, when the jet sweep works, everyone's like, wow, that's really creative, because everyone was expecting them to just run a dive. But no, what they did is they got creative and they gave the ball to one of the receivers on jet sweep. If it doesn't work, everyone clamors that it's a horrible play call. Why don't you just run it straight ahead? That's the nature of the beast. Yeah. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But if for whatever reason, at the end of the day, you look at the overall game plan and the play calling, and it makes sense, I can come to terms with the fact that it ain't always going to work and it ain't always going to look perfect, because you have human beings trying to execute a plan. There are other times when you look at the plan and you go, that was really silly. But, you know it when you see it.
Yeah.
And I watched that game, and what I was clamoring for is, let's just keep it simple and run it straight ahead.
Me too.
And that's what they did. And guess what? It didn't work.
It worked.
Didn't mean it was a horrible play call. It just meant that sometimes a lack of player execution is going to get you beat. Or you sometimes have to tip your cap to the opponent on the other side. Every now and again, they make a play.